Thomas Tuchel explains Romelu Lukaku and Jorginho's Chelsea absences. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has explained why Romelu Lukaku and Jorginho were absent from the Blues team to face LOSC Lille on Tuesday, and why the Italian has found a lack of game time in recent weeks. The pair did not feature despite being named on the bench in the UEFA Champions League clash, with Jorginho having been out of the side for a while. Speaking ahead of Sunday's Carabao Cup final against Liverpool, Tuchel explained the reason for their absences. When asked about Lukaku, Tuchel said, "If you pay a lot of money for a single player, there is a lot of focus on the player. If you allow yourself to zoom a little bit out, he played a lot of matches from the start for us, consecutive matches." The Blues boss then continued to compare the situation of Chelsea's record signing to that of Jorginho, who has also seen his game time limited recently. Maybe the little bit of a same situation with Jorginho, one of our captains, who did not play from the beginning recently because he is mentally tired, he continued. The focus is on Romelu, which I understand. The situation is the same with Jorginho, which is sometimes not fair, sometimes it is too much. Tuchel continued to discuss how the pair are still supportive of their teammates despite not being selected in midweek. Both of them understand themselves as team players and I understand the huge focus. The decisions are made clear and the players accept. Once you play for Chelsea you accept that the team goes first. Thomas Tuchel explains Mendy and Kepa selection decision process for Liverpool final. Thomas Tuchel will make a late decision over who will start in goal for Chelsea against Liverpool in Sunday's Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Edouard Mendy is Chelsea's current number one, but Kepa Arrizabalaga is also vying for the nod for the final this weekend. Kepa has played the entirety of Chelsea's Carabao Cup campaign and believes he deserves to start the final. However, when it comes to selection, Tuchel will pick the team he thinks has the best chance of beating Liverpool. "First of all, I will not tell you," replied Tuchel in his pre-match press conference over who will start in goal for the final. "We will take the decision late because you have a reason to ask the question. The last competition was a very short competition. Kepa played in the Club World Cup and was a huge part in the semi-final, brought us to the final, then we took the decision for Edouard coming back from AFCON. Then, it's a pretty similar situation now. The very last decision we will take after training like always because there is no need to take the decision now when we have one more training ahead. Kepa did fantastic in the period where we had to be without Edu, so it's an uncomfortable but also very comfortable situation to be in. It's very easy to answer, Kepa absolutely deserves. I cannot get sentimental about it. I have to do what is in the end, in my opinion, the very best solution for the team. I know that this position is a very sensitive position. If Kepa was a player in the field among the other 10 players, we would not have these discussions, just be full of praise because we are for him. He would feel it in minutes. He is in the one position where you don't do a lot of changes and still he would absolutely deserve it. I will not be sentimental about the decision." Thomas Tuchel refuses to confirm Kai Havertz's role for Chelsea's Carabao Cup final versus Liverpool. Thomas Tuchel knows Kai Havertz has earned himself a starting spot for Chelsea for the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool, but refused to confirm if the German would lead the Blues line at Wembley. The 22-year-old was heavily praised by Tuchel on Wednesday for his European performance. "I'm very pleased," Tuchel said of his assessment of Havertz's display. "Kai is very strong for weeks now, really steps up. His effort is immense, the work rate is immense, the areas of the pitch he covers for us is very, very good. He was decisive, created chances, was involved, and was never shy of defending. We had a very aggressive high line today on the pitch with the offensive three players together. The formation was to have intensity, a high work rate consistently throughout the whole match, and they did all very good. Now with Wembley beckoning, Tuchel has a decision to make over his front line with Lukaku itching to return for Sunday's showdown against Liverpool. The Chelsea head coach remained coy on giving away any hints to his starting 11, including who would start in goal between Kepa Arrizabalaga and Edouard Mendy, and Havertz was no exception. When asked if Havertz would start at Wembley, Tuchel replied, "If he did enough to justify. It's a clear yes. Does this mean he needs to start and has to start and will start? No. We will also decide this late. It will depend also on how much he played, to what we need, with what characters we want to fill the positions. Did he do enough in the last weeks? Absolutely yes." Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel on pleasure to play Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool in Carabao Cup final. Thomas Tuchel has stated that it will be a pleasure to face fellow German manager Jurgen Klopp in the Carabao Cup final as Chelsea take on Liverpool. The pair face off once again this season, drawing the previous two ties. Speaking to the press ahead of Sunday's final, Tuchel discussed his emotions as he faces off against Klopp. Tuchel replaced the German at Borussia Dortmund before Klopp joined Liverpool, and Tuchel moved to Paris Saint-Germain before joining Chelsea last season. They hold a high level of respect for one another, with Tuchel admitting that Sunday's match will be a pleasure. No, we don't speak regularly. Enjoying to play against teams coached by Jurgen. Not only pure pleasure. They give you a hard time, and of course we are facing him with a very strong Liverpool team on a very strong run of games, run of results, in brilliant form, said Tuchel. It's a big challenge but a big occasion. We feel absolutely competitive regarding our last match against Liverpool. This is where we want to continue. In the end it is a pleasure to meet him, to be in a final at Wembley again, very grateful for that. The compliment was returned by the Liverpool boss, who previously stated that Tuchel is an outstanding coach. When asked about Tuchel, Klopp said, "His way is really exceptional. He is an outstanding coach and outstanding manager. Both managers will be doing all they can to come out on top in Sunday's final, with this season's first piece of domestic silverware up for grabs." Trevoh Chalobah heaps praise on Antonio Rudiger for Chelsea faith. Trevoh Chalobah has hailed fellow Chelsea defender Antonio Rudiger for the faith he has shown in him during his time at the club, and even before this season. Chalobah has been learning from Rudiger this season, but could be without him as a teammate next year as the German's deal expires at the end of this season. Speaking to Football London, Chalobah heaped praise on Rudiger for believing in him. When asked about his relationship with the fellow central defender, Chalobah said, "Tony's from Sierra Leone, where I'm also from, and when he first came my brother, Nathaniel, told him to look after me. I used to go round his house, we'd chill, and every time I came over for training, he'd get hold of me and help me." The German international put an arm around the younger Chalobah brother, helping him to settle into Thomas Tuchel's squad as he was told he would stay at Chelsea at the start of the season. "He was the only one that season who believed in me and told me to keep going," he continued. "The next year I went on loan and ended up going on loan 3 times, and after every season he kept telling me, 'Keep going, keep going. I know you're good enough to play for this football club.' He'll always tell me how it is and what I need to do. He'll speak to me like a grown adult, not a little boy. For me, that's what's helped. It's kept me on my toes. You know how aggressive he is on the pitch, and that's how I want to be on the pitch as well." Chalobah will be hoping him and Rudiger share many more seasons together in blue, as Chelsea are hopeful of reaching an agreement over a contract extension for the defender. Roman Abramovich not expected to attend Chelsea's Wembley Carabao Cup final versus Liverpool. Roman Abramovich is not expected to be in attendance at Wembley on Sunday afternoon when Chelsea play Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. The Chelsea owner was in attendance for their FIFA Club World Cup triumph in Abu Dhabi earlier this month, but won't be at Wembley on Sunday. As per The Independent, many of the Chelsea hierarchy including Marina Granovskaya will be present for Sunday's showdown, but Abramovich will not be. This comes after the EFL held talks over showing a grand gesture to the people of Ukraine following the recent Russian invasion. Talks have been ongoing over potentially lighting the Wembley arch up in yellow and blue, or having something which revolves around a peace symbol instead. However, the report claims due to Abramovich being Russian-born, some within the EFL are conscious of potentially aggravating or alienating a section of the Chelsea support as a result of lighting the arch up in the colours of Ukraine. It is unknown of Abramovich's whereabouts after his B787 8P4 BDL departed Monaco for Moscow on Thursday, landing at 15:14 local time. Abramovich, 55, escaped sanctions from the UK government after Boris Johnson froze hundreds of British-based Russian assets following Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
That is all just news today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you by tomorrow news.